At night in a bar, two white men chat at a table. A young blonde man sits with a girl at the bar, while two white men play pool and shake hands. A balding white man enters from a hallway. Jones, a young black man in a red, white, and black striped shirt, sits at the bar with his phone. A young white blonde bartender in a black tank top smiles at customers. Jones uses a voice command.
Read message from Brent.
Phone assistant.
Brent sent a new message. Sorry, I can't make it. Caught a flat. Would you like to reply?
Frowning, Jones shakes his head and hangs up. He sips his drink. The blonde bartender returns with a bottle.
Refill?
He nods and she pours.
Haven't seen you around here before.
This really is a small town, huh?
Sure is.
I was here for business. I'll leave tomorrow.
Oh yeah? Where are you from?
Born and raised in New York City. Currently live in Miami.
She wipes glasses.
Oh, I see you like the city.
She smiles.
Well, while you're down here, you have to try the chicken fried steak. It is absolutely to die for.
Jones stares towards her.
Noted, I appreciate it. I'm starting to get used to Southern hospitality.
Her smile fades.
Yes, people here are so polite. That's one thing you won't find anywhere else.
Have you ever thought about moving somewhere else?
As he gazes straight ahead, she pulls up the low neckline of her top.
Nope, having a need. All my family's right here, so.
A woman gestures to her.
Come here.
She looks down the bar at the woman.
Well, just let me know if you need anything.
Nodding stiffly to Jones, the bartender walks to the other end of the bar, smiling at customers. She stops facing a middle-aged white couple.
Do you know that young man?
She shakes her head.
Hello?
The woman frowns.
Me and my Jeffrey here, we've been eyeing him. He was staring at you the whole time.
The bartender points at her own chest.
Yeah, I thought he was staring at my...
Yeah, sure was. Sick prick.
Jeffrey.
My pal Tim is the county sheriff. He's posted out front. I can just go
I don't
fetch
want no
him.
hassle. I'm just gonna close my...
Jeffrey rises and leaves.
You have a right to feel safe in the place where you work.
Printing a check at a till, the bartender takes it down the bar, then slaps it down in front of Jones.
Check.
She walks away. Jeffrey and his wife watch an unseen man approach Jones.
I think it's time for you to go.
A sheriff grabs Jones.
Do you hear me talking to you, boy?
What's going on?
He pulls him up.
You think it's okay to stare and creep out the lady? She's trying to do her work.
What are you talking about?
Other customers stare. Pinning his arms behind his back, the white sheriff glances down at the floor, staring at Jones's white cane. Releasing Jones's arm, the sheriff bends down and picks up Jones's folding cane. He awkwardly unfolds it and hands it to the tall young black man.
How much do I owe?
Jones frowns.
How much do I owe?
The bartender stares nervously.
$16.84.
Jones turns to the bar holding his open wallet. Her eyes widen. Slamming down money, he turns to leave, pulling away as the sheriff tries to take his arm to guide him. Putting his wallet in his jeans pocket, Jones uses his cane and walks slowly towards the door, while everyone turns and watches from their seats. Tapping with his cane, he reaches the exit. Later in his darkened apartment, Jones sighs. Pulling out a white stool, he puts his keys on the kitchen counter and sits downcast. Leaning his elbow on the counter, he puts a hand on his bowed head. Jones sits lost in thought. On a black background, a blurry white word comes slowly into focus. Title, Clarity. At night in bed, a young Latina woman with curly black hair lies in her bed gazing at the ceiling. She turns and regards her sleeping husband.
Babe. Do you still want kids?
Why are you asking me this?
Answer the question.
Jones rolls over onto his back, blinking upwards sleepily. Lying beside him, his wife frowns.
Seriously?
It's late. I don't know, okay?
How do you not know?
She glares.
People change, Tosh. People change all the time. Sometimes it's not always up to them.
Tosh considers, blinking.
I have the right to know.
He turns his head to her.
This affects me too.
As Jones averts his face, Tosh throws back the covers. Wearing a black Tupac t-shirt, she gets up. Later, sleeping alone, Jones has nightmares about the bar.
Actually, close your tab. The check. Yeah, I thought he was staring at my...
I think it's time for you to go. You think it's okay to stare and creep out the lady? She's trying to do her work.
His fallen
You have a
cane.
right to feel safe in the place where you work.
Do you hear me talking to you, boy?
Sick prick.
The sheriff glares. Gasping, Jones sits up in bed. In the morning, Jones sits fully dressed on the side of the bed, putting on his shoes. In the kitchen, Tosh cooks at the stove. In the bedroom, Jones opens a closet door. Stepping inside, he runs his hand over a row of hanging clothes. He feels each garment carefully.
Babe, where's my nice suit?
From the kitchen.
I packed it already.
Soon in the front hall, Tosh pats his back as Jones takes his cane from a wall hook and opens the door. Outside, he pulls a suitcase and approaches a car waiting at the curb. Opening the trunk, a black Uber driver takes his suitcase. Jones navigates around the car with his cane as the driver puts his black suitcase in the trunk. In the back seat, Jones smiles towards the apartment building and waves. The car drives away. Later, Jones wears shiny black shoes, a gray suit, and sunglasses as he enters an office building carrying a briefcase. Soon he gives a presentation.
Thank you. Any questions?
Smiling, a bearded manager raises his hand, then lowers it awkwardly as he spots the white cane.
Out of the myriad of software designers that have guaranteed security protection, what makes Integro Incorporated qualified?
Currently, we're contracted with 3 companies within the United States, have a retention rate of 93%, and are planning on expanding to larger corporations.
Other workers nod. Afterward, the manager sits alone with him.
I hope you can understand, Jones. Your pitch was nothing short of impressive, especially given your condition.
Wearing his sunglasses, Jones frowns. The manager shuts a file.
As you know, we can't afford any system breaches, and contracting with your startup would be pretty risky.
Jones hangs his head.
We just want something reliable.
Later at home, Tosh's mom video calls. Subtitles mom.
Hi, my love.
Tosh.
Hi, Mom. Blessings.
Mom.
May God bless you. How was work today?
Tosh.
Super
Great.
bien. Tuvo
I had a
un niño
scared little
que
boy
estaba
today, but
asustado,
he
pero
Jones
fue
sits on the
valiente.
couch.
was brave. I'm happy, very happy.
Her mom smiles pointedly.
And when will I become a grandmother? Oh, my. Mom, don't start.
Her mom peers past her shoulder.
Is that my favorite son-in-law in the back?
Rising, Jones approaches the laptop, putting on his sunglasses.
Hi, sweetie.
He sits.
Hi, Mrs. Miller.
Eyeing his sunglasses, Tosh's mom frowns.
Why are you...
Tosh hushes her.
Why aren't you handsome?
Tosh smiles.
I was just asking Tosh when I can expect some grandbabies.
He eyes her impassively behind his glasses.
I'm not sure.
Regarding him, Tosh's smile fades. Turning to her mom, she forces a stiff smile. Later, Jones enters the kitchen.
Morning. I couldn't find your keys.
Grabbing keys from the counter, Tosh waves them at him with an attitude and throws them in her bag with the sandwich. Wearing scrubs, she stomps out the front door. He hangs his head. Later, Jones stands on the side of a road holding his cane. A woman bumps into him and he drops his sunglasses. A passing man grabs his arm and walks him across the street as he struggles.
Hey, what the hell, man? I'm helping you cross.
Gripping his upper arm, the man marches Jones to the other side.
Hey, can you ask next time? Well, damn, dude, I was just trying to help. You're welcome.
As the man stomps off, Jones turns away downcast. Later in the bathroom, a positive pregnancy test sits on the counter. Standing at the mirror, Tosh puts a hand on her belly and weeps joyfully. Putting her hands to her mouth, she grins at her reflection. Tucking her curly hair behind her ears, she smiles heavenward. Standing alone on the side of the suburban road, Jones turns and walks down the sidewalk with his cane. Early the next morning on a beach, a seagull waddles on sand. On a boardwalk, Jones and Tosh sit side by side on wooden steps by the water. He opens his hand to her.
Can I see the ring again?
Wearing a gold ring, she gives him her hand.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
As he smiles, she smiles vaguely, nodding. Tosh looks up at Jones seriously.
Are we okay?
Yeah.
He faces forward.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Still facing forward, Jones blinks. Regarding him, Tosh turns away, gazing out at the water with a sigh. Considering, she turns back.
I've been patient, you know? Waiting for this wall you've built to come down. It's been weeks.
Holding his white cane at his side, Jones blinks straight ahead.
It's me. You can tell me anything.
Jones ponders.
No,
He blinks back tears.
I was kicked out of a Dallas bar for making the bartender feel uncomfortable.
Regarding his profile, Tosh listens.
I was staring at her chest.
His eyelids flutter as he averts his face.
It was so embarrassing. I was humiliated.
Blinking heavily, his lips part haplessly. Shutting his eyes, Jones puts a hand to his brow.
I had no idea. I've dealt with naive side people before. This time was different. I haven't felt ashamed of my blindness in years. I was embarrassed of how I made that woman feel. And the way that they treated me, I felt invisible and seen all at the same time.
I wish I was there.
Tosh holds his hand tightly.
So I wear the sunglasses. It's one less thing I have to worry about as I move through this world.
He turns his face towards her.
I'm sorry, I should have told you.
You have absolutely nothing to be sorry about.
She strokes his arm.
I have something to tell you.
Audio description by Descriptive Video Works. Written by Ruth Barrett. Narrated by Jason Crawford. As Jones and Tosh walk hand in hand down the beach, end credits roll. Director and writer, Kiana Nicole. Producer, Geethika Gitaru. Lead cast, Jones, Joshua Olukani. Natasha, Genesis Ortiz. Supporting cast, Samantha Bartender, Joy Missy, Karen, Daryl Meyer, Sheriff Joe Albino, Jeffrey Matthew Lawson, Rick Rob Urban, Director of Photography Chase Johnson, Director of Lighting Jack Vandermolen, Art Director Morgan Hawk. Additional credits roll. As Jones and Tosh stroll away on white sand, seagulls circle overhead.